Imagine stepping into your bedroom on a quiet evening, ready to unwind after a long day, and your eyes immediately drift to a specific corner of your bed. There, curled into a perfect soft crescent, is your cat. If you were to walk into that same room tomorrow afternoon, or next week, or even months from now, chances are they would be in that very same spot, aligned to the exact centimeter. Whether it is a particular cushion on the armchair, a sunny patch on the rug, or a specific corner of your pillow, cats have an almost supernatural ability to anchor themselves to one precise location in the house. We often smile at this hyper-specific routine, dismissing it as a simple preference for comfort, a lazy habit, or just another example of a cat being characteristically stubborn. We assume they've just found a soft place to sleep and stuck with it. But as you watch that peaceful, unmoving form settled onto its chosen coordinate, have you ever felt that there was a deeper psychological map behind this absolute consistency? There is a profound narrative unfolding in that unchanging choice of location, a narrative that stretches back to the very roots of feline survival and the complex emotional bond they share with the space you provide. You see a predictable napping spot, but in the secret world of feline communication and psychology, sleeping in the exact same place is actually a sophisticated biological strategy. It is a protective and emotional ritual that most owners completely misinterpret as mere laziness. Something deeper is happening in that chosen square inch of fabric, a silent dialogue between their ancestral instincts and their need for absolute security that is about to be revealed. The real reason your cat always sleeps in the same exact spot isn't a sign of a simple mind. It is a startling window into how they construct their sense of safety and identity. And once you understand the why behind the spot, you will realize that your cat isn't just sleeping. They are actively anchoring their entire universe. It begins with the fundamental mystery of the olfactory anchor, a biological reality that dictates how every feline measures the safety of their territory. To understand why your cat returns to the exact same spot, we have to look through the eyes of a creature whose primary sense of reality is built on smell. When a cat sleeps in a location, their scent glands leave behind invisible chemical markers, a complex olfactory signature that screams, "This is safe, this is home." What many people don't realize is that when your cat wakes up, steps away, and returns hours later, they are seeking out that concentrated cloud of their own familiar scent. By returning to the exact same spot, they are entering a self-made feedback loop of reassurance. They don't have to audit the environment for threats, because the very fabric of the spot already smells of absolute peace. It is a psychological shortcut to relaxation. They are stepping into an established sanctuary, where the hard work of security has already been done. But that is only part of the story, because this physical consistency also serves as a critical mechanism for microclimate control. Cats are masters of thermal efficiency, with a natural body temperature higher than our own, meaning they expend a significant amount of metabolic energy just staying warm. Here's the surprising part. Your cat's favorite spot is rarely chosen at random. It is a highly calculated piece of environmental engineering. They track the invisible shifting patterns of the house, the way the sun hits a specific floorboard at 2 p.m., the exact radius of heat radiating from a refrigerator vent, or the way a heavy blanket traps body heat on a mattress. When they return to the exact same spot, they are maximizing their physical resources. They have identified a microclimate that perfectly balances their biological need for warmth with their desire for rest. It is a beautiful, silent calculation of comfort. What many people don't realize is that this behavior is also a profound manifestation of spatial predictability and control. In the wild, a predator's survival depends on their ability to minimize variables. An unpredictable environment is a dangerous environment. By establishing a fixed, unchanging base camp for sleep, their most vulnerable state, a domestic cat effectively reduces the complexity of their world. They know exactly how the floorboards creak around that cushion. They know exactly what shadows fall across that corner of the bed. They know exactly what to expect if they have to wake up and defend themselves in a heartbeat. The spot is their emotional armor. By keeping their sleeping location completely static, they grant themselves the psychological permission to fully let go of their survival instincts and drift into deep, restorative sleep. And sometimes it goes even deeper into the concept of the emotional compass. Have you ever noticed that your cat's absolute favorite spot is often positioned in direct relation to you? It might be the specific side of the bed where your feet rest, the arm of the chair right next to your elbow, or a spot on the desk just inches from your hands. What many people misinterpret as a desire to be near your things is actually a search for your proximity. In their mind, you are the ultimate source of stability and safety in the home. By choosing a spot that anchors them to your routine, they are aligning their life map with yours. They return to that spot because it represents the perfect intersection between their independence and their attachment to you. It is a silent way of saying that your presence is the coordinate around which their entire world revolves. But the real reason this behavior can feel so profound is that it represents a beautiful legacy of trust. When a cat selects a sleeping spot and sticks to it for years, they are validating the consistency of the life you have built for them. They are declaring that this specific point in space has never failed them. It has never brought them fear, discomfort, or betrayal. What many people take for granted as a quirky habit is actually a monument to the peace of your home. They have taken a piece of your shared environment and turned it into an altar of absolute trust. Every time they collapse into that exact same spot, they are confirming that their world is exactly as it should be. What many owners fail to notice is the subtle ritual of re-entry that happens right before they lie down. If you watch closely, your cat will often approach the spot, sniff it intently to confirm its chemical integrity, circle it precisely, and then let their weight drop with a soft, familiar sigh. This isn't just a physical adjustment, it is a mental transition. They are stepping out of the active, scanning mode of a household protector and stepping into the soft, defenseless mode of a beloved companion. The spot is the trigger that tells their brain it is safe to rest. It is the boundary line between the chaos of the world and the peace of the nest. As you begin to piece together these psychological triggers, the stubbornness of the napping cat begins to dissolve into a sense of profound reverence. You realize that you aren't just looking at a lazy pet on a cushion. You are looking at a creature that has successfully mapped out its own paradise within your walls. The shift from "my cat always sits there" to "my cat has found their ultimate safe haven" is a quiet but powerful transformation. You start to see that chosen spot not as a boring routine, but as a masterpiece of emotional security. They have chosen their anchor, and that anchor is built entirely within the world you provide. This realization brings a new kind of emotional build-up to the way you look at your companion. The next time you walk into the room and see them occupying that same exact patch of fabric, you won't feel a sense of amusement or indifference. You will feel a wave of deep gratitude. You will understand that their consistency is a reflection of your own. That because you provide a stable, loving, and predictable home, they have the luxury of returning to the same sanctuary night after night. You will look at that soft, curled form and recognize that in a world that is constantly shifting and changing, that tiny spot is an island of absolute peace. Reflecting on everything we've discussed, it becomes clear that the favorite spot is a beautiful synthesis of instinct and emotion. It is the way a creature born of the wild creates stability in a human world. We spend so much of our lives rushing from place to place, looking for the next challenge or the next change, but our cats teach us about the profound value of stillness. Reframe the original behavior in your mind. Your cat isn't just being repetitive. They are celebrating the perfection of the present. They are showing you that when you find a place where your soul feels entirely safe, warm, and loved, there is absolutely no reason to be anywhere else. The ending is a quiet realization. The spot your cat chooses is just a piece of furniture to the rest of the world, but to them, it is the center of the universe. When they curl up on that exact coordinate, they are testifying to the safety of your sanctuary. It means you have successfully created a life where a soul can find its anchor. It is a calm, powerful realization that changes the very air of your home. You aren't just providing a house. You are providing the coordinates for absolute contentment. As you go about your day, perhaps you'll find yourself looking at that spot even when your cat isn't there, seeing the slight indentation in the cushion or the stray hairs left behind on the blanket. You'll smile, knowing that before long, they will return to fill that exact space once more. And when they do, stepping onto the fabric and circling before settling down with a long, contented breath, you'll feel a sense of profound connection. You realize that the real reason they always sleep in the same exact spot is because that spot represents everything they need: warmth, safety, and a direct line of sight to the person they love. And in that shared understanding, as the world continues its frantic pace outside, you find comfort in the knowledge that some things are meant to stay exactly where they belong.